I'm about to that point where I'm just going to start using a computer for recording.
Yeah.
Or not recording, but editing, processing, uploading, whatever.
You can do everything on the road. So
the
except
road.
The road show.
The road show.
The antique
Although
road
I don't
show.
know. I guess the buttons wouldn't always work, though, either. The audio buttons wouldn't always work because it's connected. Some of them are connected to a computer, but sorry if there's an awkward. If it sounds
quiet,
awkward to me.
It's weird.
The music usually doesn't come through.
Yeah, I mean, it's quiet on my end, typically.
Yeah. I mean, I can hear the music, but it's weird, like, not having the music, basically, at this point.
Well, in the meantime.
How about a beer?
Yes, let's get it.
Welcome to Poor Decisions, everybody.
Podcast always in progress.
What is this, 67, 66?
This is going to be episode 67.
Whoa, that had some...
8?
This thing had some clearance on it.
Oh, god dang computer. Now it's just being really wonky. I went to go restart it, trying to seeing that is even that's going to come through. I hope you enjoyed that music, everybody.
Would you hand me your glass, please?
What am I on? God dang. I think this is 67. Yes, because we're going to do 67 and 68 tonight. Because you getting ready to
dip.
Going on a jet plane. Don't know when you'll be back again?
In roughly 2 weeks.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know when you will be back because you have a return flight. That's how that works, right?
Well, I think so.
All right. Where is it?
All right. So, with that being said,
how is it too loud for you?
No, it sounds good on my end.
Okay. It's loud on my end. Whatever. All right. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, with that being said, we're starting off with an Italian-style Pilsner.
Yeah.
From Strange Days Brewing Company. Scusi.
Scusi.
I think it's an apt beer to either start or finish the podcast with.
Yes.
Since I'm going to Italia.
Yeah. And Nigel brought this one to me for my last day. Granted, he didn't show up till like 9 o'clock.
I'd say 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, it was like 9 o'clock when he finally showed up.
Well, cheers, sir.
Cheers, sir.
I'm excited to try this, man. I'm a big fan of Italian
I like the
Pilsners.
smell. I like the smell.
Oh, that's nice. That's very citrusy.
I'm digging this music.
Yeah,
at least this
this vibes with this beer right now.
At least this one.
Oh, that's fucking good.
That is
oh man.
Scusi, that's a cool beer.
Yeah. Birra.
Sure. Is that how you say it in
Italian? But it's more of you have to roll your R, and I can't quite roll it that well. Birra.
Can't roll it that well. Bullshit. What did I say this was? Episode 67?
67.
67. Dash uno. How do you say one in Italian?
Una.
Una?
Yeah.
Okay.
Una, due.
Troya.
Tre. It's very similar to Spanish, which is why I'm doing like a language learning podcast, and I'm catching on really fast because I'm just like, it's Spanish with a European flair.
Isn't Spanish with a European flair?
Yeah, I mean, but it's Mexican Spanish with a European flair. Not like
that's not Mexican Spanish.
Not European Spanish.
It's like I'm pretty sure Spanish became before Mexico did.
Yeah, well, it's
they don't call it speaking Mexican.
Yeah, some people do.
Some people do. I remember I have when my kid was younger, my oldest, when he was like 4 or 5. I remember we were at a pizza place, and there was a Mexican family sitting next to us, and they were all speaking in Spanish. And he's like, "Dad, why are they speaking Mexican?" I'm like, "Whoa. That is not how that is said."
Not. Nope.
He's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Yes, they are Mexican, but they are technically speaking Spanish."
Yeah. But it's very similar, and I'm just like, I don't know a whole lot of Spanish, but I know like sentence structure is different than English, so it's just like learning phrases and terms and then just like constructing sentences.
Yeah. I took Spanish 1.
I took a couple years of Spanish and then a few years of German in high school.
That's probably why it sounds so loud to me.
Oh, because that was
I still had the speaker turned up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds the same to me. But you're right in front of the speaker.
Well,
so.
I did adjust mine because last week I had to do my OSHA 10 course again.
Yay.
Yeah, for the new job. And so I was messing with the audio, and now it won't let me go back and mess with it because we're recording. So anyway.
Woo.
It won't let me turn down just my headphones because, like I said, I figured out how to adjust the headset volume.
Right.
And mine's turned up really loud right now, apparently.
I mean, mine sounds good.
Yeah.
I
didn't fuck with yours because I wasn't using your headphones.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're welcome, sir. Anywho, how's the job still going, sir?
Today was slow as hell.
Yeah, well, you got out early.
Yeah, we had fuck all to do. This past Friday and Saturday.
You had to jam out a couple those days, didn't you? From what I heard.
Yeah, I mean we had a few deliveries, and one of them was they do like a ceramic like coating that's like
well, you can get it done on regular cars too.
Yeah, but they this is an RV that costs $1.2 million, and then they paid an extra $8,000 for this 7-year ceramic coating on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's $8,000 when you're spending that much?
Exactly.
It's like, well, we know here's your cost for an extra $8,000. No, fuck off.
Yeah. So that was, we got that knocked out way earlier than we needed, and stuff that we were doing last week was supposed to be ready this week, and so today it was just like, I cleaned the outside of stuff I did the inside on Friday, and then I sat on my phone for about 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm getting paid to learn Italian right now.
Is that frowned upon to just be...
There's nothing to do, then like, just, what am I going to do? Like,
hide? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do laps around our bay just so I'm like up and moving and not just being stationary because I can't sit still for that long.
Yeah, I wonder where that comes from.
But yeah, I got to sit on a plane for 9.5 hours.
Yeah,
that's
have
fun
with that.
Woof.
Yeah.
I got to get some Benadryl.
Yeah.
I gotta zonk myself out.
Yeah, I'm sure. That would be a good name for a airplane medicine. Just Zonk.
Yeah, Zonk. Yeah, can I get some of that Zonk, please?
Yeah. The key would be, giving you 8 hours of rest without the freaking just lethargic.
Yeah.
When you wake up or whatever.
Yeah, it's only the second time I've flown overseas.
All right, this is gonna have to change.
Yeah,
I mean, I like it, but that first song was great.
Yeah, and then it got serious.
Yeah, it did. How about uplifting?
This is not uplifting.
I don't want. Oh, I can't do sad. All right, when in doubt, we're gonna chocolate it out.
Oh yeah.
When in doubt, brown it out. Ooh.
Oh.
Why didn't you play? Play, motherfucker.
So yeah, only the second time I've gone overseas, and it's overnight flight.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, the flight leaves at like 8 p.m. and then they feed you dinner. And then...
God, I haven't been on a plane in forever where they feed you a meal.
Yeah. Well, if it's like... I think if it's over like 7 hours or something international, they have to provide you a meal.
Yeah. Because I remember when I was younger, like, living in Missouri... But like flying to like Florida or California, it was apparently still long enough that they would give you a meal.
Yeah.
They don't do that shit no more.
No, not anymore. But it's, so they feed you dinner and then they turn off the lights for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then you eat breakfast. And it's just like, I didn't even sleep and I'm not even hungry. But I should probably eat something because I don't know when my next meal is going to be.
But I know it is smaller portion control.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when we flew to, I think it was Hawaii, like they were doing a meal. Like, because we flew to Phoenix and then from Phoenix to Hawaii and they were doing a meal. But literally, like, apparently they don't have enough for everybody on the plane if everybody decides to get me. So like I was saying towards the back end, they were out by the time they got to us.
Well, what was frustrating was with Gina's, dietary restriction when I think we took American to Portugal, and through their website, like after you buy your tickets, they're like, hey, here's the meals provided. Like, let us know if there's an allergy. Yeah. And it like lists, like allergic to dairy, allergic to gluten. So we selected for her, a gluten allergy. You're like, yeah, sure. Great. No problem. And then when we boarded the plane, I'm like, hey, just so you know, she has a gluten allergy. And they're like, oh, well, there's a chance we have other people with gluten allergies, and there's a chance that there might not be enough food. I'm like, and lo and behold, she didn't fucking eat.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just like, okay.
That's when I learned, like, I mean, I would probably be rusty at it now, but like when I was traveling a lot more, I learned to take snacks with me.
Oh yeah, we that's what we did yesterday. We bought a shit ton of snacks, like protein heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Because I had to reach out to Delta and be like, hey, you know, I've got a passenger with a food like specialty need thing, and first listed on their website, it's like you can only get a specialty meal if you're flying first class.
Oh, fucking hell.
And so I like reached out to them, and they're like, yeah, no, that's, you know, it's not like that. If she has a, you know, a food allergy, like we'll make a note of it. And I'm like, cool. Can you tell me what the food is? I need to know what the meal is.
Yeah.
So
at least have an idea.
There's a chance that it's probably still not going to be gluten free, and that she might not even have another meal. So
yeah. So I mean, yeah, like you said, you get those dietary freaking, you know.
Yeah. Like
things,
what do you mean you don't have enough? Shouldn't you plan for this?
They don't, though, because they're expecting a lot of people to not even freaking eat.
Well, and it's also the whole thing of like how they overboard flights too is just fucking stupid. That makes no sense.
I mean, I get why they do it, but it still doesn't make sense.
It is
because it's annoying, and you know the idea is that you almost have to make them remove you for other passengers, because if you voluntarily get off, then you don't get as. Like, if they basically force you to get off, then they owe you more than if you voluntarily get off.
Well, there was, I think it was the first time I came back to Kansas City for Christmas when I was living in Los Angeles, once again flying Delta, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to fly Delta across seas.
God, I feel like I've only flown like Delta like maybe once in my life.
And so we get to LAX, our flight's at like 6 or 7 p.m., we get there at 4, snowstorm in Kansas City, flight gets delayed, leave at midnight out of LAX. We had to, last minute, they told us where the terminal was. So we run to the terminal, they close the doors.
Oh, shit.
And they're like, well, it says on our computer that you guys are boarded. And I'm just like, well, I'm telling you right now that we are not.
I'm me, and I did not board that. It's like the freaking scene from Fifth Element. You know, where they had 3 different people trying to check in as Corbin Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
Multipass.
So they put us on, you know, standby. And that was like 3 hours of standby. So at this point, we'd been at the airport for 11 hours.
Oh, jeez.
Without eating, like, because it was just too expensive to eat at that fucking airport. Without sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
And then we finally get a flight from LAX connecting in Atlanta, which was like a 4-hour flight, hour and a half long layover, finally get to Kansas City, and it's like 10 a.m. We've been awake for like 20-something hours.
Yeah.
Just like fucking dead.
I remember, like, when I did go overseas for military, like, I literally, like, and this was in less than a week period, too. Like, we were in Texas, flew to Camp Pendleton, or to LAX, went to Camp Pendleton, California, then was there for like literally like 2 days, and then went to LAX, had a charter plane to Maryland.
Jesus Christ.
Layover in Maryland, and then to Germany, and, you know, layover in Germany for, you know, refueling, basically. Yeah. And then because Iraq was still a no-fly zone at that point, we had to go down and around up into Kuwait to land.
Jesus Christ.
It was 24 hours of flight time.
Golly.
Yes.
I can only imagine.
With a plane full of Marines.
Yeah.
And our weapons.
Yeah, and it's cold in that motherfucker too.
Yeah, like we had our Oh no, it was a charter plane. It wasn't like a military plane.
Okay, I was about to say.
But we still had our weapons, and like our packs went underneath the plane, but then like we still had to carry our flak jackets, and
which is what, like,
harness.
How many pounds is that?
The flak jackets, they're still probably a solid 15 pounds.
Let's say probably an extra 40 to 50 pounds on you,
give or take.
Yeah,
I mean, depending on what all you had attached to your harness, or, you know, in your butt pack or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah, that's woof. I mean, I remember my dad telling me some horror stories of him like flying overseas to get to like fucking not was it Guam?
It's possible because I know we're big in U.S. is
yeah, because he went to Guam.
Well, I mean, it's a U.S. territory.
Yeah, he went to Guam, Germany, Italy, Turkey. He also went to Kuwait, Qatar. I think he's been to Qatar.
Oh yeah.
So I know he's taken some long ass flights, and it gets fucking cold in there.
Yeah, and I've been in those. I've been in some of the military planes, like when I did ROTC.
Yeah,
and it was Air Force ROTC, so we did go up in a few of the planes. It was usually like the KC-135, the refueling plane, and no, it gets cold up in those things.
Fuck yeah, it does.
I mean, those Air Force jackets, they're solid jackets.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, and it would still get cold, but if you didn't have that jacket, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, for real.
So, I guess it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Let's move on to another topic, though, shall we?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to try to avoid any sports talk, especially since this one's not coming out for a little while.
Yeah.
And just, the whole draft was absolute nonsense.
It was.
We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it was. Although my favorite part was Shador getting pranked.
That was rough. I mean,
I thought it was hilarious.
He seems very pretentious, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, probably not really deserved.
Whatever.
It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But
was it still funny? Absolutely.
Yes. But important news, literally like what, today?
Yeah, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees.
2025. I remember I was talking about this last year.
We were, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we talked about who was, when the nominations were made, who was on it. There's some good ones on here.
I like the inductees this year.
Yeah. I mean, Cyndi Lauper is Cyndi Lauper, but you can't deny what she's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker. Sorry, thank you. Cyndi Lauper, Outcast, which is the cool one.
That's great. Soundgarden. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, and then White Stripes. I'm like, I feel like that's really early for the White Stripes.
How
long
think so.
have they been around? They obviously 25 years.
Yeah, at least 25, maybe 30. No, definitely not 30.
No, because
I'm 34 going on 35.
Yeah, so there's no way.
I remember when they were like the new like alternative band,
and that was like early 2000s, right? Yeah. So like,
I mean, it's Jack White has he deserves it. He's very influential.
I mean, I get it. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but Outkast has been around a lot longer than they have.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess, and Soundgarden's been around quite a while too.
Rest
and
in
clearly
peace, Chris Cornell.
Chubby Checker and Joe Cocker.
Yeah.
They've been around a long time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Especially Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is Joe Cocker still alive even? Like that dude was ate up years and years ago. Like during his, like at Woodstock, that dude was out of his mind, man.
No, 2014 is when he passed away.
Okay, I was going to say, there's no fucking way he's still alive.
You think Chubby Checker's still alive?
No, yeah, look at him.
Yeah. Let's see when he passed away.
With a name like that, why wouldn't you be alive?
Actually, he is still alive. Open mouth,
crow.
Insert foot.
Yeah, where's that crow?
God dang. He's 83 years old.
All right, Chubby.
Hey-o. Phrasing.
Phrasing.
There we go. What was this one? Oh, yeah. I came across this. I'm like, I got to screenshot this one. Sexually identify as a Little Caesars pizza. My pronouns are hot and ready. Some baseball stuff. We'll do sports, but not the other, pigskin game, whatever. And I saved this a little bit ago, but it was the White Sox have won less than 25% of their games since the start of 24. They're 24.8%, 445 and 136. Somebody tagged another thing in here saying since the start of 24, the most number of times a team could say we lost at least 13 of our last 15 games The Sox can say it 57 times.
Oh, my God.
The next closest, and even they're terrible.
They're on pace to be worse than the Chicago
White Sox last
team.
year, yeah. But the Rockies were able to say it twice last year.
Because they've only won 4 games so far this season.
I know when they played the Royals, I think they didn't win any of those, and they went into the series.
They're like 4-25 or something like that.
The White Sox are 7-21 right now, and the Rockies are 4-23.
23.
They have a .148 win percentage. Which
awful.
Is
I saw
worse than
that. They're on pace to maybe win 25 games this year.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
And no one's talking about how bad they are.
Yeah, no, everybody's talking about how bad the White Sox are. I mean, we documented
we clowned on
quite
them,
a bit last year. Really, the freaking Rockies were not much better. Because I had something else I thought too. It was talking about, we talked about the amount of times teams have lost 100 games. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Angels have never lost 100 games. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. I'm glad that the Royals at least somewhat got back to 500.
Yeah, they're getting there.
But, they lost. And, I mean, this won't come out for quite a while, honestly.
But I mean, what? Would I say they were 11-5 at home? Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So, moving on from that. And again, this was taken a couple days ago. And I just saw it. They've actually moved up since then. But literally, the worst team ever was last year for the Sox, right?
Yeah.
Let's consider it.
Yeah.
Let's consider in the last several decades.
Yeah. In the modern era.
Modern era, even though there was the one team that was considered modern era that was technically worse, right? And so they had a 2.21 win percentage last year. Oh, no, that was their average. Their win percentage was 2.53. Their batting average was 2.21. This year, when I took this, so they've won 2 more games since then. Their win percentage was 2.27.
Woof.
So worse than last year.
Woof.
At this time. And their batting average is .196.
Yikes.
There's players that get benched hitting that.
Not if you're a
Their
White
whole
Sox.
team is averaging that.
I feel like those are like pedestrian numbers. Like anyone could
like
go
we
up there.
should be able to get those,
I should
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because a good batting average, I mean, if you think about it,
300 is really
fucking
good.
Yeah, but I mean, a good one is like 0.25 because it's a quarter, essentially.
So out of every 10 at bats, you're hitting, 2.5. And that's why they go, why 300 is a good one. Because the idea is every 10 at bats, you're getting 3 hits.
Yeah.
And the idea is, I guess every night, if you get a minimum of 3 at bats, at least one of those, you should be getting a hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Although my buddy Packer, we were talking about it today at lunch, and he was talking about, he's like, have you seen Judge's numbers? I'm like, kind of, but I'm trying not to because fuck that guy.
Because I don't care about the Yankees.
No, he literally is not missing.
And of course. The guy's a beast.
Their closer, he wasn't even their starting closer, but now he's their starting closer because literally, in 17 innings of closing duty, he has not allowed a single hit. And,
Jesus Christ.
Or no, sorry, he hasn't allowed a single run and has only allowed 2 hits.
Wow.
And I don't think he's walked anybody.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a closer. And it was the stat I saw was saying he's actually started off better than CC Sabathia started off.
Wow.
And he's considered that hierarchy of closers, right?
Yeah, same with Mariano Rivera. That guy was a fucking monster too.
And maybe that's who I mean. Not CC Sabathia, but Mariano Rivera. So yeah. I recently came across this other thing that cracked me up too. It says, Ted Williams, Ted Williams is famous. Anybody who really follows baseball, knows who Ted Williams is.
Yeah.
Right? Or has at least heard of him, right? Actually played more baseball during the 5 years that included World War II service. So he did World War II. He was in the service during World War II. But in the 5 years, he played more baseball in the 5 years that included his World War II service than Anthony Rendon has during the 5 years of his $245 million contract.
That's insane.
It really is.
Wow.
And like the follow-up is like, and I'm going to need a second to fully absorb that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how people get paid like that and
don't do shit.
Yeah, it's like NBA players getting
like
these.
Joel Embiid
and
has literally missed like 400 games over his career now.
And everyone like, oh, rest him. It's the playoffs. You shouldn't be resting. Guess who didn't rest? Michael Jordan.
No. And that was something else I just saw. It was like literally last night's game. And again, we're recording this on the 28th, but it's not coming out for a while now.
Yeah. Is this the LeBron James stat?
Yes.
Yeah.
He he's barely played
out
in the fourth quarter and went 0 for 2.
Big old fucking just an egg all over the place.
And then somebody's like, do not ever compare him to Jordan.
Yeah, keep him and Jordan out of
Get your name out my mouth.
Keep Jordan's name out your motherfucking mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
how about a beer?
Yes, let's get it.
I got the first one. You get the second one.
I don't know what that just said, but it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah,
here's the
something.
You know what? I was curious about this one. The Paloma from Four Hands. It's a cocktail-inspired blonde ale with grapefruit, lime, and salt.
I do like Palomas a lot.
That's why I grabbed it, because of the drink you had at your wedgin.
The wedgin.
The wedgin. Not the wedging.
Not the wedgin. The wedgin.
Kind of like Vidya.
Yeah, Vidya games.
What have we been watching, sir?
Still on Reacher.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah. We didn't watch a whole lot this week. I think we're only on maybe episode 4 or 5 of season 2.
Oh, okay. What have you thought about season 2?
I dig it, man.
It was crap. I just had his name now. I fucking forgot it again. Patrick, the Terminator guy.
Yeah, we said this last week.
I know, but I was forgetting his goddamn name, and I just forgot it again.
Patrick Stewart.
No.
Patrick Swayze.
No.
Pat Sajak.
Patrick Starr.
No, this is Patrick.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No.
But it's just been Reacher. On my own time.
Robert Patrick. God damn it.
Robert Pattinson Rick.
Patterson Rick.
No, but my guilty pleasure in the free time is Simpsons, Futurama. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Those are my go-to feel good whenever I'm just like, I want to watch something but not really care.
This is an interesting smell.
Yeah, it's definitely grapefruit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't cheers, sir. Yeah, don't drink that yet.
Whoops. Oh, that's tasty. I fucks with that.
No, that's solid. I think it'd be better colder though.
Yeah.
Because I got it out of the cooler, but it's obviously warmed up a little bit.
Yeah, it's still good.
Since driving home. So yeah, it was Robert Patrick. That's who I was.
Yeah, the dad from oh fuck, what's the show with Peacemaker. He's John Cena's dad in Peacemaker.
Oh, I have not watched Peacemaker.
Season 2 is, I think, coming out later this year.
Well, I got to renew my Max.
Yeah, I guess I don't have
because it was part of my phone plan.
Yeah.
But it was on my ex's mother's phone.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, they are now separate plans.
Yep.
And so I lost my Max.
I think I've got the Strunkses.
The Strunkses?
Yeah, I think
the Zonies?
Yeah, I think I have the Zonies.
It's all good. You know what I've been watching on Netflix? It's called Secret Millionaire.
Hey, I've got that ring. I'm wearing it right now. The Clada.
Oh, yeah. The Clada's a great ring. It's called $1 Million Secret. It's on Netflix. And it has Peter, however you say his last name.
Serafinowicz,
yes. That's close enough. But he's played the Tick in the newer live-action Tick.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks familiar.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, when they're introducing all of after they capture, in the first one, after they catch them, he's like, what a bunch of a-holes.
Yes, okay, yes. He's that guy that you're just like, I see this dude everywhere, but I don't know his
like
name.
The new Bruce Campbell, right?
Yeah, well, everyone knows who Bruce Campbell is.
Yeah, like I say, he's the new Bruce Campbell. Because he was in Shaun of the Dead. He's Pete, the roommate.
He doesn't have the chin, though. He doesn't have the chin that Bruce Campbell has.
No, he does not. He was also in John Wick, the second one. He's the sommelier, and I say that with quote unquote because if you're familiar with the John Wick universe, the sommelier is
here's the thing. I'm afraid to admit I've never.
You've not seen it. I believe it.
I've never seen any John Wick movies.
They're good, man.
I know they are.
They're really good. And then on Peacock, they did a show called The Continental, and it's a prequel to John Wick, but like by
I heard about that.
It's like 1970s when the person who is like the manager of the Continental, his name is Winston, played by Ian McShane. Who I love Ian McShane.
Yeah, me too.
He was Mr. Wednesday on American Gods.
Yeah.
And but he becomes the manager, and it's basically his origin story on how he becomes the manager of the Continental.
Oh, okay.
Because in that show, Mel Gibson was the manager.
Interesting.
It was a good show too. Because then it's kind of like the origin story of the guy Lance Reddick plays as well.
Yeah.
In the John Wick movies.
Did he pass away?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, Lance Reddick, and his name is Sharon.
Yeah.
But no. But then he was also in Spy with Melissa McCarthy. If you ever saw that.
No, I can't stand her.
He had like this love affair. This idea of a love for Melissa McCarthy's character. And it was a funny movie.
I cannot stand her.
She can be over the top, for sure.
Yeah, it's not that she's over the top. She's such a typecast. She plays the same person in every role that she's in.
She's getting paid to do it.
I mean, good on her. But
okay, so here you go. Amy Schumer or Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
They're both awful.
Melissa McCarthy would be.
I would probably go with Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy, when Trump was first in office and they had was it Spicer was the press secretary and she did Spicer. She was hilarious as that.
Like I couldn't stand Amy Schumer had like a sketch comedy show.
Yeah.
Much like, Mind of Mencia, Key and Peele.
Yes, and I had no interest in ever watching that.
Bad.
Because
I just love
Michelle Wolf, who was on The Daily Show when Trevor Noah was on there, got her own show, and it missed horribly.
Everyone's just trying to capture the magic of Chappelle's Show.
Yes.
I'm glad no one's doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Because even then, as much as I liked Key and Peele, I think it had to be done in front of a live audience. Because sometimes I'm just like, I want the cue to laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like sitcoms. I kind of like a laugh track.
Yeah.
Like, if it's done in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
And I think that Key and Peele would have been so much better if that was the case.
Yeah. Like, because they did the introduction stuff.
Yeah. Like, in front of an audience.
And, like, that's where some of the funny stuff was happening. But then it was, the forcing of the skits.
Yeah.
It's like, and you know what I told her? I said, bitch.
I mean, they're funny sketches.
They are funny sketches, but then, sometimes it's like...
I think they would have landed better if it were shot in front of... Or if they were airing it. If I'm sure they played it in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
But I want to hear the crowd laugh.
Yeah. And that's like almost like the opposite of when you look at, what was Web Soup and... like Tosh.0, right?
Yeah.
Where they're delivering funny stuff.
Yeah.
And then they're watching clips that the clips aren't like... Sometimes they're funny, but then at the same time, it's like, oh my God.
Well, and it's also just like, oh, well, this is America's Funniest Home Videos for adults.
It basically, yes.
Which I don't know. Like clip shows to me, like
they had their spot, but I don't think they really.
No,
I don't think they could hit anymore.
I think it's lazy.
I think honestly, I think ridiculousness has kind of killed that.
Oh yeah, God, I can't stand Chanel West Coast.
I think,
God damn,
Tosh.0, he was good about it.
Yeah, well, he made jokes too. Like he's a joke writer.
Yes, And it gave him a chance to basically practice.
Yeah.
His his delivery and stuff like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Rob Dyrdek is not
a joke writer.
joke writer. No. Like he's
and it's the panel show too. I hate the panel
it was like a combination of niches.
Yeah.
Like it basically was a podcast that they reviewed clips.
Which I'm super sad that After Midnight is canceled.
Yeah. And I never watched any of the new one. I watched a lot of the original.
Same. It's funny. I say that I'm upset that show was canceled, but I never watched it. But I watched all of the stuff on my phone.
Yeah. Well, that's why I almost want to go and pay for the membership of I'm blanking on the name of the channel, but it's like an internet channel, and it's like I've shared some of the stuff with you, and we've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
It's like the Smarty Pants show.
Oh, dude, I love.
But then they have other
shit,
they have like 2 other game show things that are hosted by the same guy.
That shit's hilarious.
That it is really funny
because it's improv.
Yeah,
it's an improv game show.
Yeah.
Not similar to Whose Line.
Yeah.
But not in front of an
they
audience.
do it as a game show aspect where Whose Line was their whole tagline was the points where everybody wins points but the points mean nothing.
The points don't matter.
Yeah. So anyway, I was getting back to the show I was watching. It's called The $1 Million Secret. So it's hosted by this Peter
Serafinowicz.
Yes, bless you. And
Thank you.
It's been a really good show because actually my youngest was staying with me over the weekend. And I'm just like, let's just put this on and see what it does. It looks very interesting.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the guy that's hosting it. He has been awesome with how he's been delivering the aspect of this host. And it's basically...
So this is a scripted show.
I don't want to say it's scripted. I'm sure there's editing for whatever, but it's supposed to be like a competition. So it starts off with 12 contestants. Yeah, it starts off with 12 contestants, and they just at random pick one person to be this secret millionaire. And so their money gets put in a box. So then they go through challenges and stuff, and they challenge the secret millionaire to, do certain things to get an advantage over the other contestants. And then obviously everybody else's goal is to try and figure out who the secret millionaire is and kick them out.
It's like a whodunit.
Not necessarily a whodunit type of thing.
But who got it?
Who got it?
Who got it?
We can go with who got it. So we watched a handful of episodes, and they've only I think picked the millionaire once so far.
So what happens if they pick the right guy? Do they all get like a cash
basically
prize
then just the money goes to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
And so it's whoever has the million at the end.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so there was one episode where after the first elimination, they were going to the person and they stopped doing it after so many contestants were removed. But the first person who got the $1 million, she survived the first elimination, and then when it came to right before they're leading up to the second elimination, he said that, all right, here's the challenge. He's like, if you complete this challenge, you can randomly move the money it'll be a random person. You won't know who it goes to, but it will move. Right? So she was able to complete it.
They don't get eliminated.
And
they
then
can come back and...
But the thing is they could still technically get eliminated. So she passed it. Right? And then they announce at the elimination dinner that the money's going to be changing hands in the morning. And everybody's like, oh my God, they had no idea. They just thought it was going to be that person keeps the money until they get eliminated, right? Or, figured out. Well, after that happened, she fessed up, said, I was a secret millionaire.
Why?
Because she didn't have the money anymore, so she thought she was safe.
Oh, boy.
So then that next episode, everybody viewed her as a liability and voted her off, fully knowing that she wasn't the millionaire.
Yikes.
And there's been a lot of misdirection.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But the last one we just watched, I still have a few more episodes to watch. But literally, somebody was the millionaire, and it was coming up to the second elimination. They were not given that option to move the money if they completed their challenge.
Right.
But they would always do a team challenge as well. And so whichever team would win, or people that would win the challenge, would then or like the game, or whatever, or that round or whatever, would get information about the secret millionaire.
Huh.
And so
sounds fun.
The guy that they voted to say, like, okay, you can be told the secret information, because in their ideas, they're supposed to go and relay it back to the whole group, right?
Right.
And so his thing was like, all right, you get to open one of the boxes from the losing team, if you think they're the millionaire. And there was one person he was convinced potentially had it because they had been acting very shady and kind of hostile, right? So he opens her box, empty.
Heyo.
Phrasing?
Heyo, yeah. But opens the box and it's empty. He's like, well, shit. But then he was given a secret agenda, so that's why they always tell the millionaires, like, hey, your secret agenda is this. If you complete it, you get this reward. If you don't, then you kind of have a penalty against you, right?
Right.
So he completed his secret agenda. Well, by completing his secret agenda, the movie was randomly getting moved, but the person who was the millionaire didn't know it was going to be moved either.
Wow.
Until after the elimination, where the person who was the millionaire survived, he told the whole group, oh yeah, the money's moving again. And they're all like, what the fuck?
It's
been a fun show to watch. Yeah. And he's been he's not over the top, but like one of the challenges for everybody, the multiple teams or whatever, was he's like, if you guys haven't noticed, the first 3 eliminations, he's like, I keep asking my staff for a drink and nobody's been giving me a drink. So their challenge was to go fill with decanters
That's hilarious.
A bottle of whiskey and then relay the information to somebody else of like they were supposed to go chip ice from a very specific spot and then bring it all back to them, and whoever had it right won that challenge.
Interesting.
It was very funny. And he starts drinking his whiskey. He's like, perfect. It's been a very fun show. All right. Did you get any more plans figured out for
I mean, we've got a list of places to visit. Her friend Bailey put together she did a bunch of research for us because we've just been
it's more of a just like,
busy.
hey, we're going to try and hit this, but
yeah, a lot of it's like, it's, a lot of food, but I mean, like, man, there's just like so much to walk around and see. We're just going to like wake up and be like, where do we want to go?
And I'd be down with just seeing all the old architecture because like I'm a big architecture type of guy.
Yeah. Now there's a bunch of museums we want to go to. There's this really cool like interactive like Van Gogh museum, and
cool.
So we want to check that out. And there's another one that like it's not interactive, but they like brought all of his inventions like to scale.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And I'm just like, well, that's fucking cool. Like I want to go
Should
see
have done
that.
it in Lego.
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be epic.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is one somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I need to get back working on the beer mug too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've been busy.
Have I?
Yeah, dude.
Never not working. I end up saying that today too. Like I jumped up to help somebody. They're like, man, you're just like, and they, I told them, they asked like what everybody does and whatnot, or did, before. And
Yeah.
I, told them what I did. And then I went to go do something and they're like, still bartending, huh? I'm like, I can't help it. Never not working.
Yep.
I'm like, God damn it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, got some last minute things to take care of. I mean, by the time this airs, it'll all have been taken care of.
Yeah, because this one will come out, I believe,
the first week that we're there, right?
The 9th.
Yeah.
Because I have one to release
on Friday.
On Friday. Do I? I think I do.
I think so.
Because, let me see, we've released 65. I need to work on 66. Yes, I have 66 downloaded, but need to process that. And then I have the cocktail hour one to process as well. So yeah, this is episode 67, which will come out on the 9th. So you'll be right in the middle of
I'll be in the middle of my Italy.
Italy.
Well, we should probably wrap this up so we can get on another episode going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody as always for giving us a listen. I've been seeing the numbers being very solid.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to start taking that next step.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm glad that the whole job thing has changed.
Yeah.
We can start doing some other stuff.
Get back into making reels and doing more video stuff.
And pimping ourselves out.
Yeah.
Because, I want to start seeing some of these, like 50 downloads an episode.
Yeah.
Eventually 100, right? Because the idea is if we can start getting to a certain point, then we can get monetized. And it makes it easier to reach out to people to get ads as well.
Yeah.
Like, could we right now? Yes.
Will anyone give us money? Probably not.
Besides our subscribers.
Yeah.
That we already have, which
we're not in this for the money, Brian.
I really do enjoy because I have not had to pay for a monthly fee and let me see here. Billing. Here we go.
Look at that.
Apparently, I had to pay a little extra in March or the February-March one. I don't know. That's weird.
Anyway.
But there's been several months I have not had to pay, and that's all thanks to the the subscribers that we have. And again, if you're listening to this and you want to get those bonus episodes, please subscribe to the show. I think $5-6 a month, and it gets you those extra things as well. And as
extra content,
and as we progress, we'll be doing even more.
Oh yeah,
as well. So yeah, but yeah, shout out to all those who do subscribe.
We appreciate you.
We absolutely appreciate it, and make sure you share us with your friends as well. So
damn right.
I guess until next time, we'll do better.
We'll always try.
We'll always try to do better, and I think it's time to.
Shut it down.
That's right. We'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you.
Later.
Bye.